And good morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray along with Odie. Today is Tuesday. It is voting day. We'll tell you where to vote. We'll go into detail on that in just a moment. Make sure you totally understand that. As we start looking at headlines that are happening around America, this one caught my eye early. Do you remember the little lady that was in her 90s that owned the newspaper in Kansas? They raided her home because she'd done a story.
Yeah, and she died of a heart attack because of that.
Sure is. Well, the police chief, he's resigned. He is no longer in charge after he done a search warrant on a 90-year-old woman that just really didn't make sense.
And this turned out to be an illegal search anyway, or they're either in the motions to try and prove that to be an illegal search.
Yeah, I think that's the way to word it. But it turned out bad. She passed away. They put him on, paid leave, and then he just went ahead and resigned over this. Her house should never have been.
Administrative leave.
Yeah. That house should have never been raided over something as minute as that. And then on top of it, a newspaper. I mean, come on. How many circulation did they have? How many were they going to really, as we all know, where that is?
Those people that read it was not real happy.
As you'll remember back in the day, back in the 1800s, newspapers ruled. That faded away when TV
magazines
came along.
And stuff started taking over a little bit.
This is evolving each day as to how Americans get their news.
And now it's all online.
It is.
Very few.
Streaming.
Streaming is the big ticket now. Of course, growing up, all you had was either over the air and cable was coming out. It took forever for cable to even make it to us.
And cable is now, that's going away.
Cable's going away. And everything's internet provided, internet based, and you do a whole lot of pick and choose of what you want. And, this type of stuff here.
That's the way it's going. Do you remember as a kid watching the Jetsons and that thought of being able to see who you're talking to seemed like that was just really unrealistic? Well, that showed up. I think
got a sneeze coming.
He's going to sneeze somewhere.
Y'all just don't know. I don't just do a hachoo.
It's going to rattle the walls.
There's about 5 or 6 of them dudes.
Bless your heart. I can't fight it when that happens. Like if you look up at, anybody ever looked up at a light and it hits you and just can't stop?
Walk out in the sunlight. The bad thing is driving down the road and the sun hits you just right.
Yeah.
And I go to sneezing, and if you're trying to drive down the road, sneeze 6 times, hold one eye open.
It's hard. It's hard.
Don't be going in the curve.
If you don't know by now, the lottery is up to $1.2 billion. If you haven't bought yours yet, make your way to your fair chance. I don't know what the odds are. It's probably slim to none.
Oh, yeah, it's way on up there, billion, trillion to 1 or something.
But it sure makes you feel good about it.
Well,
the thought. It could be me.
Y'all don't go get a ticket.
Odie's just going to handle it for you.
I got this.
As we go to headlines, as we learn, as we dig deep into this, we haven't gotten an official statement from MPD, but we have looked up and we've gotten the information from the Kemper County Detention Center as an arrest has been made in the 9th murder of Meridian, as we pull this up this morning for you to take a look. The Meridian Police Department made an arrest, and they have charged in Monday's domestic dispute that led to murder at Magnolia Apartments. Victoria Holt has been charged with second-degree murder. She's been taken into custody. A little after 4 o'clock yesterday afternoon is when she was arrested. She's being held at the Kemper County Detention Center in DeKalb, Mississippi. Second-degree murder. We'll see where this leads, and hopefully we'll get some more information from the Meridian Police Department on this.
Yeah.
We still have not heard back on what happened in the second death where we started out yesterday morning. Also, we had a female that died yesterday morning, and an autopsy has been ordered on that. We hope to learn more on that as well. Lots of things going on.
Up to It's sad when you say we're fixing to be double digits with murder.
Well,
bad for our area. This is just uncalled.
We got a couple cases that are still lingering out there that we could already tie last year's. 11 murders last year in 22. The year before that, it was 17 murders. And then you go back the year before that, it was 15 murders. So we're on track, and we're only in October. We've got 2 months left. And again, we have a couple of cases out there that could sway either way because we haven't heard from the police. But easily could tie last year's number, if not surpass it before the end of the year.
Terrible news.
As we learned yesterday morning, somewhere around 11 o'clock, that the Neshoba County Board of Supervisors had passed a burn ban. Don't be burning stuff. Well, within about 2 hours, what do we get? Forest fire.
Well, I didn't know it was under a burn ban. Yeah, you did.
County Road 488 out by 339, Highway 488 by 339. This would be in the Waldo community. It was a pretty big fire. I couldn't even get anybody close enough to get me a decent picture of this because it was burning so hard there. We didn't want anybody to get hurt, so got everybody to back off on this and just let it do. And firefighters finally contained this. Man, that could have turned bad. I know one shed was at least burned. It could have been more before it was all said and done.
So this is something that people don't really take into account. Our fire departments, city, county, our fire departments are structural firefighters.
Right.
We don't fight woods fires because we're not equipped for wood fires. Do we? Yes, because right now we have no choice.
Well, the boys from the Mississippi Forestry were already on scene with dozers trying to help put this out.
And hardly have enough of them. And if we call for one, we're looking at 2 hours before we get somebody here. We've got some equipment that will get us down a little dirt road, but when it gets off in the woods, we don't have the equipment, we don't have the means, and until we get our forestry fully funded with equipment in Lauderdale County, it's just going to be terrible. Fire department's doing everything they can. People want to complain, but nobody comes to the meetings and say, I'd like to do my part. You don't have to fight a fire inside of a house.
No.
Helping us get a truck there is something that we need. And we can talk to Chief about that in a minute. Everybody's numbers are going down, and we're asking people to come help.
Last night, I guess it was somewhere around 8:45, 9 o'clock, I had to call Anthony Chancellor. He's acting police chief in Enterprise, isn't that right?
Yeah.
And y'all got to do something for Anthony because it's getting to him. He's not as busy as he used to be. If I'm not mistaken, he was watching Hallmark movies with his wife. Because I heard a tear when he picked up the phone there. He was watching one of those Christmas specials there of the Hallmark.
It was going to snow and somebody was getting back together.
And I said, Anthony, you know what's going on down past you? No, I don't. And I said, hang on, Anthony. Come back to reality with me. Boy, the guns had been pulled in Clark County last night. And the popo was on the way.
Skidmore's got a bigger breakfast to cook this morning.
Yes, they do.
They got some new occupants that go visit the Marriott.
You go to Oregon in Clark County, it's not we're going to talk to you. They take you on to jail. As we pull up our lead story here from Clark County this morning, yes, domestic dispute right down there near Stonewall. It was two folks that commenced arguing. Next thing you know, a gun been pulled, been fired, a hole in the wall. Thought somebody got hit there at first, but as it turned out, that's not the case. But everybody was arrested, both subjects, hauled off to jail, and charged with domestic violence and simple assault. Have mercy. Now, I really can't imagine getting into an argument and shooting at one another. I cannot imagine what would lead you to that.
That's tough. It's got to be something pretty doggone bad to be pulling guns.
Hank Jr. wrote a song about all this, and maybe y'all should listen to it. Takes a whole lot of liquor to like her.
Yeah.
Maybe y'all should partake of that song.
Wake up at, what is it? Go to bed at 2 with a 10 and wake up at 10 with a 2.
Don't the girls get prettier clothes in time? More to come as we get ready. Again, the voting, we'll tell you where to vote in just a moment. We've got a special guest that's going to talk to us about, what they think you should believe. Not believe, but statements that haven't been said. We got that coming up next. Don't rush off. It is vote day in Lauderdale County CTE building. Yes or no? Vote the way you feel, but that's up next. We'll talk to you. The Precast Group, offering you the best selection when it comes to a storm shelter.
Located on 145 South in Meridian, where they offer above-ground shelters that can be installed in your home as you're built in, are conveniently located right outside your home if it's already built. They also offer storm shelters that can be installed in a slight bank or on flat ground. Protect your family today with a very affordable storm shelter from the Precast Group. Highway 145 South, 601-482-0003. The Precast Group.
Bring on long days, sweltering heat, and acres that just won't end. Exmark mowers were born to deliver legendary reliability, signature cut quality, and stubborn durability that refuses to give in. Because like you, Exmark mowers were built for this. Visit your local dealer or explore an Exmark online for special finance offers available now.
Need an expert to repair a rock peck or cracked windshield? Call Advanced Auto Glass by Joey for quality workmanship and customer service. Convenient same-day service, as well as in-house calibration for vehicle safety systems. Reliable mobile service is available in Clark, Kemper, Neshoba, Lauderdale, and Newton counties for all cars, trucks, and heavy equipment. Book your appointment today for custom tinting. It can reduce temps, fading, glare, and more. Improve the safety and enhance the appearance of your vehicle today with services from Advanced Auto Glass by Joey.
And welcome back. I'm your friend Scotty Ray, and this is Odie as we begin this Tuesday day. And as we said, it's getting congested. Polls are now open. And where do you go vote? That's one of the biggest questions we've been asked, Odie. And here's the sheet.
So a lot of this is going to be what school would you go to if you had some kids. But if you vote at Bailey, Center Hill, Collinsville, Martin, or Sucalina, you will vote at West Lauderdale Elementary. If you vote at 17, Causeyville, Odom, Vimville, Wynot, or Mount Gilead, you will be at Southeast Middle School.
I don't know where to tell you to vote if you were at 16. Just telling you.
Yeah, you just hope for the best. You ain't old enough to vote no way.
That's right.
Now, if you normally vote at the landing on Highway 39, New Lauderdale, not the old Lauderdale, New Lauderdale, Daleville, East Lauderdale, Marion, Kewanee, Russell, or Tumsuba, you will be voting at Northeast Middle School. Or if you vote at Pickard, Clarkdale, Meehan, South Nellyburg, or Zero, you will be at Clarkdale Attendance Center.
Let me throw a rump row into this, because in reading that, I thought, the landing? Are we talking mugshots?
That's the only thing that came to my mind.
You can't vote where liquor is served.
But it's the landing on 39.
I didn't know there was a building called the Landing on 39. Well, that's new to me.
I don't either.
Okay, yeah. But you that vote at the Landing where they could sell hamburgers.
People do not know what 17 means.
That's a community.
We don't either.
Yeah. When you said 17, that's why I said 60. I've never heard of that.
I hadn't either. We really don't know. That was put out by the county. So obviously, those who live in the area of 17, they know where it's at.
Yep. Now,
but we don't.
Yeah, I can't even read this one.
It's across from the curb store. I think it's a church. Now, Megan, is that 17 or is that the Landing?
Maybe she'll
It was
tell
a
us.
church by Briarwood.
The Landing.
But anyway, those are the areas. And look, it's going to be congested. There's school going on. Kids are going to be in and out everywhere. Some of these are in a different area, but at the same time, there is school going on. Parking is not going to be the easiest thing in the world. But get out and do your due diligence. Vote. Whatever the Lord, pray on the way to school. Whatever the Lord leads you to do, get all the information you can, and push this out. And let your voice be heard. We've got to start doing that more, not just for this, but for every election that is held in Lauderdale County, the city of Meridian. We need to get out and vote.
All right, joining us now from our famous CTE meetings that were held at the school. She's the winner of the Jello wrestling contest that happened at all of those. We welcome Kate. How in the world are you doing?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
Kate Talley joins us now. And as you have been talking, you've expressed yourself a lot at these meetings.
Right.
So what is your stance on this? What are your thoughts as we go off to vote today?
I just think that it's really odd that they decided to hold this election at the schools with our kids present. I think a lot of the concern was safety, but there's a bigger picture here that everybody, I think, needs to see. There's a reason they are making it difficult. There's a reason they want our kids present. There's a reason they want 80-year-old people to have to drive from Meehan to Clarkdale School is because they don't think they'll do it. They don't think that they'll get those votes.
Tactic, in your opinion, is confusion, and it
Yes.
lessens the amount of people that turn out to vote.
Right.
On any election, as we all know, these special elections like this, it is going to be less people regardless. We hate to even say that, but it's true. We know that.
We do, and we deal with that over and over again, and that's when we're at every single 37 polling places across the county, and now we're down to 4.
So, as you have said, you moved here.
Right.
And a little bit different the way you're seeing things, but you felt
Right.
strong enough to stand
Yeah.
up at each meeting and voice your opinion.
Yeah, I mean, it's more so that I have a preschooler that's at Clarkdale, and, that really bothers me, but it's more about the fact that they're literally trying to take your rights away. They're trying to make it difficult, and it really resonates with me. The people that are disabled and that are older, it's going to be an issue for them, and they're just stripping that from those people. It's just not fair, and they shouldn't be allowed to do it. To be
Now,
honest.
one thing you said that really got us, and we haven't experienced that here, is security. That was something that you really pushed, was the security of the
Right.
children. And then you had brought up that you were from Tennessee and why you thought this way. So for the ones that are out there wanting to know why security is a priority for you and why it should be a priority for us, what was your reasoning and what did you experience that led you down to push the security part so hard?
I'm from Knoxville, Tennessee. We have like 84 public schools, and things happen, and I think people are so in their tight-knit community here in Meridian, and they don't think things can happen to them. But, just in my hometown, while I lived there, we had 2 school shootings. And so it's terrifying for me that these people are coming in, and someone made a post last week about people thinking that it was going to be like Nurse Ratched coming in these schools voting, and that's not our fear here. The fear is it's the people that you don't expect. It's the uncles and the aunts and all these things that you would never know have these bad ill will toward whatever. And this is the perfect opportunity, not necessarily to do something today, but to scope out the entire school, to make a plan moving forward. It just is an unnecessary risk when you come from a town like that, and those things are so prevalent and can happen so quickly. Here, it's like people just don't even think it can happen.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. That was kind of addressed at one of the meetings. Was the answer given that, they come daily anyway? Am I remembering right? Is that what was said, that these people show up to pick up kids anyway and you
Right.
just don't know it? Am I wrong?
Right. No, that's exactly.
And football games and
Yeah,
everything is open.
But this is a different scenario, in my opinion.
And they're wrong. They're wrong. The law says that they cannot be on school property unless they have a child. If they have a child, even then, they have to schedule a meeting with the principal, in advance. It's not just that they can just come on campus. Football games, that's not allowed. All those things are illegal. Their point is not being made with that. The only thing that they're allowed to do on school campus legally is to vote. That's the only time. And everything else doesn't matter, but the right to vote trumps that. So with them arguing football games, Grandparents' Day, that's not the concern here. That's still illegal for sex offenders and things.
Right. Now, I do know that as I spoke to deputies yesterday, as I was out and about, they are going to be on enhanced security today. They've got extra security out. And then they have deputies that are floating back and forth from school to school. Should something come up, they get there in a hurry. And we do trust our sheriff's department. We're not saying that at all.
Right.
I think the point on all this is putting it at risk to begin with. Am I right on that?
Yeah, you're exactly right. I mean, is there a very small chance something could happen? Absolutely. There's probably more of a chance at Walmart. It's just the point of what they're trying to do. It's the bigger picture that we're trying to get across here. They're making it difficult for a reason. They're taking this risk for what? We have an election coming up next month anyway. There's no point in doing it. And so when you start this deep dive that I've been in this past week, you start to see, well, there is a reason why, and we as citizens should all be mad about that.
Do you feel that the 40, I've heard different figures, anywhere from 20, 30, 40, up to $60,000 for the cost of this election. Maybe we'll find out what it is. Do you feel that that money could have been used for something else instead of an election?
Yes.
Is it a waste of taxpayer money?
Absolutely it is. And the thing is they're not even paying it. The Election Commission told me that they're being forced to pay it, and then they're going to pay them back with the bond. So what happens if the bond doesn't pass? Then who pays it? Well, the Election Commission does. And then there's going to be a big lawsuit because somebody's got to pay for it. Somebody's got to pay the Election Commission back because they can't afford to run both elections here and November. So it's just a much larger picture. It's a waste of money that could have been used, just to save the campuses.
Now, I know that it's been said that, well, this was done for a date so they could start building, but if you've ever dealt with any construction that deals with federal money or a state, we all know it never starts on time. Never, ever. There's some more red tape that comes up and is pushed and is pushed and is pushed. So I don't think 30 days, in my professional opinion, would have made a big difference on this. Now, if you're watching this, we want to be clear about this. It's your right to vote yes or no. It's for you to decide. We're telling you the pluses and the minuses. I had someone inbox me yesterday and tell me that I was not fair. I don't believe that. We have had Dr. Kane on 3 times. We've carried 2 of the meetings. You were at another meeting, and we've tried to get the truth of what's going on out. It's up for you to decide in the end of yes or no. We've heard his side. We've heard the parent's side. At the end of the day, do I know this? Your taxes will go up. Come December, you're going to get something in the mail of a $40 million courthouse that is being built that your taxes are going up. Should this pass, the next December, you will get another nasty gram where your taxes will go up, and then you're almost at double of what you're paying now. It could be broke down into so many cents a day, but most of the homes are valued at more than $100,000. Not every one, but most are.
Well, another guy had brought this up, and this is a 20-year bond. This is going to be for a while, going to be here. So you buy a $100,000 home, and most homes are going to be $200,000. You buy a home for one, it's going to be a home to raise your family. You also buy it as an investment. Well, you want that value to go up.
Correct.
In 10 years, that may now be a $450,000, $500,000 home. And now your insurances or your taxes are going to continue to climb. We even had one that said kids are out of school Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of next week anyway. So why couldn't they have done that? You got 3 days next week to have done that and get the
Odie,
voters in there.
I jokingly, as we brought Kate on, mentioned the Jello wrestling. Because seriously, one time years ago we had a Jello wrestling contest to give away some Alan Jackson concert tickets, and to meet him is why that came to mind. But let me tell you something. Folks at Clarkdale are not happy right now, and I think the voice of what's going on there, and I'm going to turn this back over to you and explain to us if you've got a child attending, because there's a lot of people that go to Northeast, Southeast, and West Lauderdale that really don't know what has happened at Clarkdale. So we flip back to you to tell us what's going on there.
Well, lately in the past couple of weeks, we found out, there's a few children that are really sick at Clarkdale from mold. And we still to this day have not been notified of this. And Dr. Kane said that he notified us at the meeting on Tuesday. But there's still not been any official reports been out. And you've got kids coming home with headaches. You've got kids coming home exhausted, teachers having symptoms, and it's like when you look at it, how is that not neglectful? How is that not being prioritized? These kids, it's important to say that these kids aren't going to make it anywhere near the CTE building if they can't breathe through elementary school. Nobody's going to be welding if they can't breathe.
Now, how long has it been since the tornado struck Clarkdale?
April of 22. My house was affected.
So, and your house has been fixed
My
since
house
then.
has been fixed, yes, sir.
The school has not.
Right.
They moved in, if I'm understanding right, they brought in mobile homes for everybody to
Right.
do school in, and then blocked off portions of the school.
After it was reported that there was mold in it, they didn't do that in the beginning. It was later, and we're still trying to get the reports from Dr. Kane about when that mold report was put on his desk, because I would be curious to see the gap from when he got that mold report and when he pulled the students, because I'd be willing to bet you it was not immediate.
Boy, that causes a lot of concern. Now, we don't know why the school, whether it's an insurance issue. There's lots of issues that we may not know as to maybe the insurance company hadn't paid them. Well, if they haven't, then we need to probably re-examine the insurance company that's got it and say, why haven't we been paid? Is it red tape? Is this normal? What needs to happen? We need somebody to step up and go, we need our school fixed for our children. We do know that.
Right.
And Dr. Kane did say that there were mistakes made along the way. He was open about it. He goes, maybe I should have told more. Maybe the board should have told more to the parents. Where does this put everybody at Clarkdale? You're kind of like the spokesman for them. They're pushing you up here and saying, speak, girl, speak.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely didn't plan to be here 2 weeks ago, but I think everybody at Clarkdale's upset over that, and we just want information. I think if he had been clear about those things and he had given us information, it wouldn't be where it is now, but we've just dropped down this rabbit hole, and we've been digging. And I think another thing that it's important to note is if my house hadn't been fixed and there had been mold reported into my house, you can best believe that Child Protective Services would have been at my front door. I mean, just taking my kids immediately. So why is it that we as parents are held to that standard, but then the school, it's been 18 months and our kids are every day still going to that school getting sick? We love the school, but it just doesn't make sense. It's not logical. You can't tell me that anybody can look at this and be like, yes, this is logical. This makes sense. It just doesn't.
Now,
Wow, this is, and we've heard this a few times, and it's, all Dr. Kane, all Dr. Kane. It's not all Dr. Kane, and Dr. Kane is the superintendent, but now he also he may have an idea, but this has got to go in front of a 5-member board.
right.
To finally get go for it, and he may be the spokesperson and trying, because if it's his idea, it's his idea. But he's not in this 100% alone. There's a 5-member board that's elected. I'm not real sure who elects them, but they're elected to go along with this. So, and we've been, like you said, y'all are sitting here and you're being biased and you're pushing out the agenda that y'all want, and all you see on Scotty Ray is vote no, vote no. Well, that a paid political advertisement, and now no one, and it's been offered, no one has come up and paid a vote yes advertisement. That's been available to anybody that wanted to produce any kind of a commercial that they wanted to. Dr. Kane, he's been on here 3 times. Him and Rob Smith has been on here discussing it, and then we've had one the other day that was against it, and Kate makes number 2 who was against it. So we're 2 no's and 3 yeses as far as being live on the show. So we hadn't been biased. I don't recall, because I know I haven't said I'm voting this way or that way. We try and say
these are the facts. You make a decision. We'll be right back as we start this early Tuesday voting day in Lauderdale County.
Our local headlines are brought to you by the Rock House Gun and Pawn.
There is something special about autumn and Al's Garden and Gift. There's no better place to pick up colorful mums, snapdragons, and pumpkins. You'll love the bountiful selection of pumpkins in a vibrant array of colors and sizes. Hay bales, corn stalks, homemade wreaths, and flags will add extra flair to an entrance or an indoor space. Make tailgating fun with Captain Rodney's Grumpy Man, redneck gourmet sauces, salsa, jellies, cheese straws, and more. Al's Garden and Gift, a charming place to harvest memories and gifts this fall.
At the Back Porch, we're bringing families back together for fun, food, and all the things you love to enjoy around your home. Every event starts with a great grill, great cookware, and accessories. Add in some locally sourced meat and dairy, along with frozen vegetables and casseroles, and over 500 brands of spices and sauces. Relax in our chairs, swings, day beds, and have fun with our cornhole boards. From coolers to trailers, we have everything you need. When you see the big chair, you've made it to the back porch.
Welcome back. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. As we get this day underway, 7:29 as we begin this. Kate, have we forgotten anything? Is there any final statement that you want to make on this before we let you go vote?
I think I just want people to do their research. You can go to my Facebook page and read my pinned posts. It's been shared all over the place. And truthfully, I put in about 12 hours of work in that post, and it's all true to my knowledge. And I've not yet been disputed against it by Dr. Kane. You know, he's just lied to our faces. So if people will just get out there and do the research on not only Dr. Kane, because I don't think he is the sole responsibility here. I do think that it was the board. And I think he's being told what to do and when to do it. So if people just dive into the board and look at connections and those things and really do their research, I think they'll start to see the bigger picture here.
All right. Well, we thank you for coming by this morning.
Thank you so much.
Again, I want to remind you, I have not spoken to one single person that has told me they wanted to vote no or yes that didn't believe that the program was great for the kids. No one has said that. It's the amount of money that is being spent that has been the issue with most parents on this. Again, no one has said that this is bad and we don't want to help the children. I want to be upfront and flat about that. Flat. That didn't even make sense, Odie. What'd you let me say that for?
Well, I wasn't paying attention on that one.
Scotty Ray running off at the mouth again.
Well, you know how it is. It just, sometimes words just come out.
They do. So that's where we are on the election. Again, right now through probably 8:30 is going to be one of the biggest times in the early morning hours at the schools trying to vote with kids there. It'll loosen up there around lunch if you want to go then, and then it'll get busy again anywhere after 1:45 through probably 4 o'clock.
Yeah, because you're talking, well, I'd say at least 3:15, 3:30 until everybody that's picking up kids from school
those yellow dogs
to get in and go. Not the yellow dogs, the
parents,
individual, the regular riders, and then 4 to 7 should be good. I mean, this is going to be walk-in. One question: you for it? You against it? Throw that dude in a scanner, and it's done. So it's not going to take very long for everybody to go in and vote. So if there's a line, don't let that discourage you. Go in there, vote, and go on. But vote. I'm going to keep pushing that. Go vote. Whether you're for it, whether you're against it, it doesn't matter.
And we wish Kate a speedy recovery. She's got a broke foot, and there is absolutely no truth to the rumor that she tried to kick in Dr. Kane's door at his office. Absolutely not.
Yeah, we've proven that wrong. So, and that was now. Look, one last thing on our voting. On your voter ID card, when you're looking at the top part of it, all the way to the right, it's going to say SCHD. If there is the SCP under that, you cannot vote. You're in a separate school district or you're in the city. The other one, the SCHD, if there's a number that's a precinct number, you can vote. The only people in the city that is able to vote for this is out 39 at Eagle Point. Don't know how, why, or what, but if you're inside the county, you can vote unless you're in the separate school district, or the only city people that can vote is right there by Northeast, that's at Eagle Point. But
Look,
check your card.
All I know is, I don't know what the budget is for Lauderdale County, but somebody buy Donna Jill a color scanner.
Well, the budget to run the entire county,
you know the budget, don't you?
Is because I keep asking for part of it.
Give me money, I need it.
I need some more, but it's going to be the same amount of money to run Lauderdale County government, everything. My office, the sheriff's office, the court, everything is the same as what it's going to be to run our school system.
Wow.
Yeah. So a budget of $60 million and a budget of $60 million.
Rump road. We'll be right back. More with Scotty Ray and Odie, and we're going down a history lane.
H&H Residential of Meridian is your #1 carpet and flooring store. If you've been thinking of a new look for your home or office, call for a free estimate or consultation. H&H can install or you can do it yourself. H&H has all of your design needs from color, style, and texture. If you can dream it, H&H can make it a reality. Come see the large selection of hardwood flooring, laminate, vinyl, and even carpet. H&H Residential of Meridian, open Monday through Friday, 9 to 4, 321 Hawkins Crossing Road. Call Rosemary anytime, 601-462-9541.
Collinsville, Mr. Discount Drugs, your local pharmacy and gift shop, thanks you for your continued support. Whether you shop with us in-store, through our app, over the phone, or in our drive-thru, our team will provide the best personalized customer service experience you expect from your local pharmacy. When you call or message us, you are promptly greeted by the Mr. Discount team that's ready to help. When you choose our pharmacy, you're choosing a locally owned pharmacy that cares about you and your community. Collinsville, Mr. Discount Drugs makes a difference.
Welcome back. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. This is Odie, and we welcome you into Tuesday. This is October the 3rd, believe it or not.
Man, not just voting day, but we're already started October.
Do you remember, Alan Jackson re-recorded a song back in the 90s called Summertime Blues? I called him a congressman, and he said, oh. Well, the old boy that originally done the song had a birthday today. He was born today. If we'll go back and remember this guy, Eddie Cochran was born on this day. A little misspelled word there. We got an extra R there, but it's going to be okay. He's not going to know a thing about this so long as y'all don't tell him.
He won't remember.
He had some other songs there that I don't remember. Summertime Blues was his big one that I do remember.
That's a good song.
Yep. I liked Alan's version better, but that's just me. How'd you do this one? Come on, everybody.
Yeah. Now, see, here you go.
Do the twist.
Yeah.
I can't twist. I have never twisted.
Hit that camera over. I think we saw he's not going to twist now.
Come on, get into it. Keith Doggett standing by to tell us some things. But it was Chubby Checker who was born on this day in 1941, and he made it big with the twist.
Yes, he did. Man, this was something.
I can remember years ago, Debbie getting on stage and doing the twist with Chubby Checker back when we used to do the Silver Star stuff. Way back when. I remember, I still see her on stage doing that. That's been a while ago. 1955, I think no one that is probably 50 and somewhere between 50 and 30 won't remember this guy because we grew up with him. It began in 1955, and he would have a friend called Mr. Green Jeans.
Mr. Green Jeans.
Anybody remember Captain Kangaroo?
That was
As a kid, I always thought that was a little symbol of a church over there. I remember that little radio sitting there, and every day that I looked at it as a kid, I thought, wow, look at that church over there.
Yeah.
I sure liked him, Mr. Moose and all of that all went on that. It was great.
Mr. Moose and Miss Joanne said it was good seeing y'all Friday night, and had my wife, and me and Greg took our wives out for a big dinner.
At the
Friday
Moose?
night. Went to the Moose Lodge Friday night, and it was good to see you, Miss Joanne, and everybody else down there. Had a great time.
Yes, sir, Rebob.
Old Moose.
1960, it may have been, how many does this make? That makes 40 to 20. It's been 60 years, is that right?
Golly.
Since this debuted, and to this very moment, it is as popular as the very first broadcast of it. Why? It was clean, it was great, and it represented the American dream and family. It is the best of the best, and it still is, in my opinion. I voted probably the best TV show that there ever was. As we go back with Andy being premiered on this date.
No sex and one drunk.
Yep.
And he locked himself up. Of course, he was the only one married, remember?
You just described after 10 years of marriage.
All the sober people were single.
Well, golly. Was the mayor married?
No. Otis was the only one married on that show.
He was married?
Oh, was he?
It never showed her, did it? No, it never showed her. He just referred to, okay. All right, so we got two on there. But, we had two mayors. Didn't we have two mayors on there?
Had to have.
Yeah, and they'd go to sweating. Remember the band trip that they were going to take? And they got somebody to stand in for them and play the instruments. Bless their hearts.
Can't make that show.
This was the first round of this. He would have several shows, and to this day, one of the most tender-hearted people that walk the streets of America. You often see him handing out $20 bills. He's in his upper 90s now, and he does care about mankind. Yeah. But it would be today that would make him most of that money that he's handing out as the Dick Van Dyke Show premiered for the very first time. Mary Tyler Moore would be his wife on there, and yep, they had separate bedrooms or separate beds.
Yeah.
That's getting real popular again, y'all. Just go down and ask any furniture company.
Can I get that in 2 twins?
Leave me alone. You snoring heifer.
Oh, me. Yeah.
And you think about that. Y'all remember how hotels, how thin those papers. You ever stayed in a room next to somebody that you could hear four doors down snoring? Ooh,
no, but I bet they've heard me.
This next show, I remember it, but I just never was one that watched it because I couldn't figure out how a guy that worked at a hospital could jump out and go solve crimes. But he was all over it. Anybody remember this guy?
Daddy loved it, so I watched it with Daddy.
Was it good?
It was.
Did I just overlook it?
It was real good. Yeah, of course, now, that was back in 1976 that we were watching it.
Seemed good at 7 or 5.
Yeah. So now...
Dude, that was popular back in the day. I know it was big.
Come on Sunday night.
I was just so much more into Rockford Files. He was such a cooler dude back in the day. 1954, they say he's probably one of the best, probably one of 2 of the best guitar players that ever picked up a guitar. Well, maybe we didn't throw Chet Atkins in there and a few others, but Stevie Ray Vaughan was born on this date, and you got to give credit where credit was due. He was really good at what he did.
Yeah, he could play the guitar. And that's something I've always wanted to play. I can't.
Dylan taught himself and then was going to teach me one afternoon. And after my fingers hurt so bad, I thought, I need to go do something else. Thank you, son.
This ain't worth it.
1962, I'll remember this guy for one thing, and I'm not going to tell you what that was, but Tommy Lee was born on this date, and he'd be married to an old girl one time.
Yeah, made a movie about it.
Sure did. That's what I was referring to. That's the only thing I know about him. And we'll leave it at that. Maybe you saw the movie too. You just can't get that out of your head.
No, some things stick.
Yeah, that did. I don't know what else to say about that.
We'll just move on.
Right. Up next, we're going to find out how you can help the volunteer fire department. They need your help. They're coming on next to tell us all about that. We'll be right back. Mark your calendars for the Holiday Extravaganza Gift Show, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m., October the 28th at the Lauderdale County Agri Center. From boutique items, jewelry, wooden items, T-shirts, soups and dips, home decor, stocking stuffers, gift ideas galore. Something for everyone on your Christmas wish list. That's Saturday, October the 28th from 9 a.m. until 4 p.m., the Holiday Extravaganza Gift Show at the Lauderdale County Agri Center. Call Becky at 601-480-1776. Summertime has arrived, and Freeman Tractor on Highway 494 has the exact lawnmower for your need. If you've got a big yard with acres and acres to mow, they have a mower for that. No matter the size yard you have, Freeman Tractor has the lawnmower that fits you and your budget. From 48-inch all the way up to 60, or the X-Mark lawnmower. Plenty of these to choose from. Also, they carry a complete line of LS tractors. Come by for a test drive today. Financing available. Drop in today to Freeman Tractor, Highway 494, see Coleslaw.
Your next Maytag or Whirlpool appliance is waiting on you at All Temp Appliance and Refrigeration on Highway 19 North. If you've been trying to locate a freezer, stop by and see their big selection of upright and chest freezers, a showroom full of stoves, gas, and electric. Maybe it's a new refrigerator from large double doors to the simplest of refrigerators. Name brand washers and dryers like Speed Queen and Amana. And delivery is available with a great service department to back up what they sell. Open Monday through Friday, 8 to 4, and by appointment after hours and weekends.
You know, one thing I've learned is dealing with people that are trustworthy. Snowden & Company is that company when it comes to buying a home. They do this right. You can find your dream home or the home that shrinks down that you can handle.
I mean, look, this is the one thing I really like about Snowden & Company is you put together what you want.
Right.
It doesn't matter where you want to go, what type of house, how big, how small. You put together a wish list, give that to Snowden & Company, and they will find you your house, your dream home, and do all the paperwork for you to get ready to move in or they'll take your home, give you the pointers on what you need to do to make that curb appeal snap and sell that house quick. Great group of people to take care of everybody. You know, Amanda's done an awesome job, built one heck of a team down there at Snowden & Company.
She sure has. And if you want to get yours sold or whatever the case may be in your life, have less grass to mow, contact this young lady right here. She'll help you out. Snowden & Company, give them a call, 601-453-3937, and they will get you going there. Well, as we talk about, you've got somebody in the studio with us who wants to say something.
Yeah, so today we've got Chief Keith Doggett in from, yes, Chief, the big chief, going to come in and talk about. So we've got a big fundraiser coming up over at Long Creek Fire Department there in Zero. Chief, thank you for coming on this morning. And so what kind of fundraiser we have coming up?
Thank y'all for letting us come on. We got a pancake breakfast this Saturday morning. It's going to start at 7, go to 11. It's $7 for a plate. We give you pancakes, sausage, and a drink, your choice of a drink. And all this money is going to raise for more equipment. I mean, we have 19 people in our department, which out of them 19, we got 9 that's certified.
How many people show up to cook?
That's the question.
Because I tell you, that's some good pancakes. Because we made Keith work hard last year. Because that was some good pancakes.
Yeah, and it absolutely is. We want you to come out. What time do y'all start serving this? Is this like at daylight type thing?
We usually start at around 7. Probably a little. You get there a little early. We probably have some ready. We'll be there early, getting it all started. So usually 7 to 11, and I mean you can come and get a plate, take it home. You can eat there, or you can, if you have like, I think we said 5 or more plates, we'll deliver to you. If you got like a business that's somebody's working on a Saturday and they can't get out, we'll get somebody to bring them to you.
Man, I tell you, this is good to get down there, meet the guys at the fire department, look at what the equipment is that they've got down there, and mainly talk to them about how you can join. This is your insurance that is affecting, and these guys, they wake up in the middle of the night, whatever it takes to take care of this community, and they're asking you to come out and help take care of them, to help fundraise. It's not cheap.
No.
Yes, the county does pay for the apparatuses and helps with some of the stuff, but for the most part, your everyday operating expense is paid for by that fire department. And it takes these things like the pancake breakfast to make that happen and buy gear. Keith, how many? You said you had 19 members and 9 were certified?
Yeah, 9 certified. Which 2 of them are junior firefighters we have we start with like 15 to 18. You can come start learning a little bit of the ropes before you actually get 18 that you can actually respond to calls and stuff. So we have several that are doing other things, and like I said, we got 9 that's actually certified that goes in structure fires or stuff like that. So the rest of them are helping out, running the truck, bringing water, pulling the lines for us, or directing traffic, or whatever we ask them to do. So, and we got like medical people. We got 3 that's EMTs or EMRs.
That's important to have those guys.
Right.
Yes, it is. And then what meeting days do y'all meet every month?
We meet the 1st and 3rd Thursday of every month at 6:30. So
they're at the fire station on Zero Road.
Yeah, you can't miss it.
Big blue building.
Blue building, right by the ball field. So everybody knows if you go down Zero Road, you cannot miss it.
So y'all come down there and sit down and talk to them and see what they're doing every other Thursday.
Yeah.
Because I know they're doing some good training.
Yeah, Keith, when's the pancake sale again?
This Saturday. This Saturday it starts at 7 o'clock, 7 to 11.
Come on by.
Yeah, y'all come by.
I'm gonna try to get there when Buck Robert gets there. See if I can beat him out of one.
You better get in there first.
Yeah, better.
Because it slows down cooking.
Slows down cooking with butter rice. Keith, thank you for coming in and telling us all about that.
No problem. Thank y'all.
I tell you what, our officers have been busy, and I wanted to pick on a couple of them. Is Officer Jennings with the Lauderdale County Sheriff's Department has showed up, and she was out at career day. As we take a look here at the Lauderdale County Sheriff's page here, she was busy up front talking to the kids.
I love her to death. She came from the city.
She sure did.
Come out to the county, but she is a wonderful Leo, law enforcement officer. Great person to get out and talk to these kids.
Now, I'm going to let you introduce this next one. He's also been getting ready for homecoming with all what's going on in Lauderdale County.
Deputy Robinson, he's also known as Shrek.
He's a big old boy.
He's a big old boy. That's somebody you do not want to mess with.
That's a good picture.
That's a good picture of him. He is one of the most kind-hearted people out there.
Oh, is it? That's your daughter?
That's my daughter, yeah.
That right there. Ain't she just cute as she can be? Let me pull that back up where everybody can see that. That's just as cute. Shrek, good fellow there. Had a chance to spend some time with them at the last meeting we had. They were security out there, and they do a lot to protect and serve. A big thank you to Lauderdale County, the deputies. We saw a bunch of those. Was it yesterday?
Yeah. Saw a bunch of them.
Yeah, so a big thank you to them. We got more on the way as Scotty Ray and Odie continue your Tuesday as we get ready to wrap up and get you out to the voting polls. Things should start slowing down any moment now for you to be able to vote, cast a vote. Vote no on October the 3rd. The Lauderdale County School Board wants to raise your taxes. The board is asking for an additional $12.5 million for the Career and Technical Education Project, bringing the total cost to $20.5 million. Which means higher taxes for you to pay. The election alone will cost taxpayers $40,000 to $50,000. Send the school board a message. Vote no on raising your taxes by voting no for the $12.5 million for the Career and Technical Project, paid for by taxpayers for reduced Lauderdale County school spending. Rock House Gun and Pawn is open you pump shotgun or an AR. The Rock House will have the gun that you need, with a huge selection of ammunition for just about any caliber that you may be looking for. Pistols, scopes, and a whole lot more. Plus a private lobby for your confidentiality when it comes to your pawns. Rock House Gun and Pawn, located at 5430 Highway 19 North Meridian. Interstate Auto, conveniently located on North Frontage Road in Meridian, right down from IHOP, has a large selection of late model cars and trucks just waiting on you. You may be in the market for an SUV or a family sedan to fit all the kids in. And a huge selection of trucks, whether it's a Ford, a GMC, a Chevrolet, a Dodge Ram that you're looking for, or an economical Toyota truck. Inventory changes daily at Interstate Auto. From a minivan to a sporty four-door sedan, Interstate Auto has what you need, North Frontage Road, Meridian. And welcome back. Yesterday morning, I mentioned that there had been a burglary in Meridian. I want to show you just how criminals will work hard to get something for nothing. As we go to 8th Street, this is the scene here. This is the Curb Store and Deli. Looks kind of normal there. But let's take a picture, go to this next picture. If you will look, this has got burglar bars. I want you to look how tiny that hole is. They slid through that hole and broke in the store and stole an undetermined amount of product from there.
And I know there was a sign out there that said
can't break in.
No, it was like under new management, just opening back up or something. But you know, people want this type of store around them, but that type of activity is what makes these people close and say it's not worth it to me, and then you end up with a lot of vacant buildings.
Well, you get people that put their whole life savings up to go after this to earn an honest living, and then criminals come along and take it. Yeah. And you can't handle but 2 or 3 break-ins to where you're not making a profit anymore.
And your insurance is going to say it's not worth us covering you, or if you want us to, it's going to cost you X. And people are not doing it. They're getting out and saying to heck with it, it's not worth it.
If you were passing by City Hall anytime the last few weeks here in Meridian, Mississippi, you might notice there was a few backhoes and construction going on. Well, whoops, yesterday they struck a gas line and had to evacuate the City Hall building. And it should be fixed this morning, but it was shut down yesterday afternoon when maintenance crews were working on something and struck the line. And for everyone's safety, they blocked off the street and diverted everybody and sent everybody home from there. Just, you can't be too cautious on things of that nature when it comes to that.
No, it's always safe just to get on the side of there and say, everybody step out for a little while and get this all under control.
We got to Newton, Mississippi.
Man.
Let's talk about Newton just a second here as we go here. The Mississippi Department of Public Safety has made an arrest. Do you see this? I-20, 34 kilos of cocaine and a half a pound of marijuana. I guess that was just for pleasure as they drove around.
Yeah, that was. Yeah.
Because there wasn't much there. But cocaine.
That was for their glaucoma.
Yeah, that's what it was. Look how much cocaine was here.
Now,
I don't know what the street value of that is, but it's a lot, isn't it?
It's got to be a lot. What's a kilo? 2.2 pounds?
I don't know. I didn't watch the rest of Magnum P.I. that night when he was explaining that.
I think it's 2.2 pounds.
Wow.
But that looks a whole lot heavier than 60-something, 70 pounds.
It sure does. Let's see what else is going on this morning. We did have an incident in Clark County, and let's go take a look at this. Our friends at Clark County Hot Topics went out to the accident that happened there in Clark County, and this truck's got some issues now. As we take a look here, whoop, I spy a tree.
Ooh, he hurt his lip.
That lip there is, that Tonka truck is hurting there as you take a look.
Yeah. Ow.
So that did happen in Clark County. We wish everybody the best of luck with that as we do that. Now, again, we're coming up on where we'll have to exit the building and turn things over to everybody in just a moment. We want to remind you about voting. It's very important that you get out today, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. I had it opposite there, didn't I?
Now, it's going to be the same. If you are there in line at 7 p.m., you will be able to vote. You don't have to have your vote in by 7 p.m. and then they close it. If you're there ready to vote, you're just in line by 7, you will get to vote. So even if it's 7:30 or whatever else, as long as you get there by 7 o'clock, you can vote. This is still run by Lauderdale County Election Commission. And we're going to be set up at the Lauderdale County Courthouse tonight like we were for the last election.
Correct.
And going to give you results as they come in. Take your ID. Denise, thank you. Take your ID, at least a government-issued ID with you, because you will need that to vote.
As we get notes on this, and again, it's your right to vote yes or no. You have to decide that. Only you can decide that. A lot of people are upset that schools are not, the repair, the plumbing and different things haven't been fixed in other schools when they're asking for money to build something new, when they've got $8 million already set aside for to start the construction of this. But as the numbers go, it says that only about 10% of all students will use this building, which is going to be $20.5 million, to where if the money was put towards the regular school, all students would benefit from that. Those are the facts of what we have at this point.
Yeah, no line at Northeast Middle School. Only 20 people have voted so far. Guys, y'all come on. I've said this before. We hadn't come up with a number yet. I'm 20%.
Oh, boy, that's low.
Man, this has got to change. We have got to get to where we've got 80% of the people going out there and voting and not 20%. Our regular, we've got to have 80%. A huge election this past go around, and we had 38 was the top. People fighting for this country and the freedoms that we have. And until you go across the seas and see how some of these people live in these other countries, you will not understand how good you got it, no matter how bad it can get on a daily basis. We
That's right.
still are the best country in the entire world, and it takes people going to vote and voicing their opinion to run a country. We've got to get back into doing that.
I agree with you 100% on that. We can't say enough thank yous to all of our guests this morning, Keith, Dog, and all the folks there at the Long Creek Volunteer Fire Department. Go support them Saturday morning. Get a pancake.
Look, I'm telling you, it's worth it. I'm going back because last year it was good. But go in and just being able to see friends and sitting down inside and talking to everybody while having a good breakfast, you're helping someone that is willing to help you for free. And you can't buy that kind of equipment.
Big thank you to Kate for coming in. I want to mention
yes.
this before we get out of here also, Odie. We had a death yesterday of a U.S. Senator. North Dakota's senator, him and his family were taken off in a small airplane manned by him. It went down not long after takeoff. Everybody in the family died, him and his wife and 2 children.
Man, prayers for everybody over there.
And I know this has been bugging you because it's not on television right now, is Todd and Julie Chrisley, they're in jail now. Separate prisons, but they say their love is getting some kind of stronger while they're separated.
I bet it was. He's saying, ooh, I can't wait to get out of here.
I am not commenting on that. I will not.
It was...
Ooh.
Yeah, I bet they won't steal no more money. Well, that's what they've been accused of, and
wait a minute, they
found
were
guilty.
Yeah, they were prosecuted over that. So, whoops, you did it.
Yeah.
Oh, and also, as we see the rock star of all presidents there, what makes this guy work? Because he's a common man. As he's fighting all these folks in crowds, DoorDash delivers what?
Yeah.
All McDonald's hamburgers for everybody up in there.
And then y'all know
There ain't no fancy meals going out. He's just like the average guy. Bring me some Mickey D's and everything's going to be okay.
That's right. Look, if your home, if you paid taxes on what your home was actually valued as, you'd really be complaining.
You would be.
Anything out there is valued at what people will pay for it. And you know how much your stuff's worth.
This is kind of like a last straw. We got to get him.
Oh, yeah. It's the only thing you got left.
It's kind of like when we got thrown off TV. They got to huddle and go, good answer, go after it.
Yeah. Because we came back stronger than y'all have.
You made a point, and I wanted to touch on this before we get out of here. You made a comment a moment ago about us living in the greatest country in the world.
Amen.
Now, if you don't believe that, look around the world of what goes on, and let me give you an example of this. A New York student was in Dubai. Did I pronounce that country? Dubai?
Dubai.
Yeah, I don't even know where it is. But
the A is silent. But it's in the Middle East over there.
Okay, some other country there. She's going through security. They got her up. They've half stripped her because they think something's going on. She's got her hands like that. Security guard got the wand. She goes, they sent her to jail for 1.5 years. You don't touch. This is where in America you have rights. These other countries, you do not. They ain't nothing they can do to get her out. It's for 1 year. I overstepped it. It's just for 1 year in jail that she's going to get for that.
Well, and here's the thing. I bet she won't do it again. Well, if we brought some of that stuff over here, we wouldn't have to deal with the crap that we are. We are the best country in the world, but we're allowing people who
to run our country
and everything else to walk out free. Don't do that no more while you're waiting on trial.
The basketball star that was arrested in Russia or wherever that was,
that
they done a trade,
marijuana.
she didn't learn a lesson out of that because she got out.
Because she got out.
Had she stayed the whole time, she wouldn't have done that no more.
And with the ACLU and the Southern Poverty Law Firm and all that stuff has allowed people to do illegal activities and not suffer the consequences, and right back out and they're doing it again and again and again. And until you do something like that right there, here's the law, this is what will happen, do it and try. You touch an officer, you're gone.
And that's what they did in that country that I obviously cannot pronounce.
So
say it again, Odie.
Dubai.
Yeah, them people. They're quick. They got handcuffs.
Yeah, they quick. They so good, they make their own land over there.
That's right. I forgot about that. Odie, we got to get out of here. We want to say thank you.
Yeah, we've had a great time. We had Chief Keith on with us. We had Kate on with us. It's been this morning's been wonderful. And we couldn't have done it without each and every one of y'all joining in with us. And we'll be back for the Wednesday edition in 23 hours. But we'll be there tonight going live for the vote. So join us again. We love you. Have a great day.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners.